Welcome back to Making Shit with Green Thumb. Today's project, nesting boxes. Materials, we're going to use some plywood I got in the basement and these fence panels. I'll turn the camera on, I'll show you. Just moved into the new homestead here, if you're following what's going on the channel. And I'm in the shed that I'm in the middle of building here. But all these fence panels here, I got some on the ground. So what we're gonna do is chicken nesting boxes need to be 12 by 12 by 12. These fence panels, they're 5.5. So we're just going to dismantle some of those, and we're going to use that for the tops and for the bottoms, and then the plywood for dividers, and then we've got some 4x4s that were from pallets and stuff that have been left here. We're going to tear those apart and we're going to use those for the legs. So you want your nesting boxes about 2 feet off the ground, maybe a little less. Online they say 18 to 20 inches. But I've got ducks who are going to end up running around. That's the chickens in their new home. Hi, chickens. So I'm going to put them about 2 feet off the ground so that way the ducks can run underneath them. But in the springtime, we're getting rabbits. So we're going to build what, if you guys watch Joel at Polyface Farms, Joel Salton, he has buildings, they're called racking houses. Essentially what you do is you have chickens on the ground and you've got rabbits in cages and the chickens run around underneath the rabbits. So that's what's going to happen in that coop right behind you. So the placement for these nesting boxes at the moment is probably going to be temporary, but who knows, maybe I'll just put the rabbit cages on the opposite wall. That way I need to separate the bucks and the does anyways. So I have room against the opposite wall if I want to do that on either side of the window. So if you watch my projects, you know I always kind of do this fly by the seat of my pants thing. I'm really good at MacGyvering stuff together with random crap. So that's what today's project's going to be. All right, so I'll turn this camera around and I'll show you what we're doing here. All right, so here's that old fence panel I was telling you about. Taking these things apart, you're going to want 2 tools. You're going to want one of these, right? And you're going to want one of these. I suggest wearing gloves because when you're smashing, right, you got to hit it pretty hard. Wear gloves, but right now I'm running a camera, so I can't have my gloves on. But it's not too bad. Put it underneath, square it up. Turn it around. That's all there is to it. Now this is where the tricky part is, right? Because sometimes you can't get in there if the other board's in the way. But the nails on this, they're starting to pull out, as you can see, right? Pulled this one right out, it's still just sitting in the wood. So give them a couple of taps, pry them up. Instant building material, look at that. Free, I love free. Free is my favorite price. So here's what we're going to be building the nesting boxes with. Cool? Cool. I'm going to pull a bunch more of these off and I'll get back with you guys in a minute. Okay, so this is where we're at. Here's the bottom, right? Chickens are going to be sitting on here. So what I've done is I had some chunks of fence panel from when I was building the wall right there at the top to patch holes. So I just ran it across the bottom underneath here, screwed it in. Gonna chop it off here, chop it off there, and I've already done the other one, and I've just smoothed the backs out. So that's where we are here. Okay, so we got a bit of a change of scenery going on. We're in the workshop. We have a storm coming, and my fingers got cold, and so we just decided to shift gears and bring this inside. So I'll show you what we got going on. Okay, so we got that first section put together, 6 feet long, bracing, top, middle, and bottom. So we're just going to, yeah. My workshop is an absolute cluster right now. So I'm not going to pan the camera around and show you guys what kind of an absolute disaster this place is at the moment. So, anyways, we're going to replicate another one of these for the top. And then we are going to replicate another one for the back. And that's the plan. So, here we go. Ready? So the first thing we're going to do is going to mark off these bottom braces that hold it together at 11 inches. Like that. I can't find my speed square, so I'm stuck using this one. Not such a bad problem. I mean, we can still get straight lines, but it's certainly not optimal. So we're going to mark out 3 of these sections at 11 inches, and then we're going to cut them off. I'll be using a handsaw. A little bit of information for you. If you're using an American saw, it cuts on the push. If you're using a Japanese saw, it cuts on the pull. So, American saw, cuts on the push. Workbench is shaking like crazy. I need to attach it to the wall. Sorry about it jumping, guys. All right, so we got one. Gonna replicate that twice more. So here's where we're at. Got 1 panel, 2 panels, and 3 panels. And now the interesting part is going to be with 2 hands, how do I hold 3 pieces of paneling together and run a screw gun? Fun times. We'll figure it out. So here's the box. I didn't get a whole lot of filming done. It was just getting too complicated and my day was getting pretty rushed. This has taken me a lot longer than I planned to. So where we are now is we're going to take 9.5 inch strips. We're going to mount them like this at every 12-inch interval. And each chicken is going to get a box. I was going to put 2 pieces, top and bottom, but at the moment this is just how it's going to be. I might put them in after if I have more time, but that's where we are now. So we're in the middle of cutting some 9.5 inch sections right there, and then we're just going to screw them in. So there's the next one I cut. This is the problem with using reclaimed materials. Awesome. On to the next piece. So here we are, the mostly finished product. There we go, look at that. And my fancy green shoes with holes in the toes. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's how I roll. That's extra air conditioning. Right, so 6 feet long, about 11.5 high, 10.5 inch deep, and 12 inches across. And so I'm gonna haul this sucker outside and put some legs on it. And then the only thing left to do is I'm thinking I'm gonna put maybe a 1/2 inch by 2 inch strip across the front, all the way across here, just so when we put hay in here or wood chips or whatever we're using at the time, the chickens can't just kick it out of the box, right? So it'll kind of, you know, just like a little strip across the front there, just kind of hold everything in. So that's the plan. Now I think we're gonna haul this sucker outside. So we're back outside in the shed, just about to finish up this nesting box project. So I took another little piece of scrap pallet apart just over there and pulled off these hardwood pieces out of it, and we're going to use those for legs. So pretty much I'm just going to run 4 deck screws up from inside the box into the bottom of each one of these legs. Boom, 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 boom. And then we're going to bring it into there. And then we are going to have some real happy chickens. Because right now, all they're doing is they've made a nest in the corner and they're all just laying in the corner, but they're also all sleeping in a great big ball. So who's talking to me here? Hey, it's little Frizzle. Hi, little Frizzle. Beep, 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 beep. That's my little Frizzle. You're a superstar. So we got her in. I could only get 2 legs on because my drill is too long with the driver to get inside the box and drive those back legs in, and they're not long enough for me to mount on the outside of the box. So we got 2 on. Those are okay. And we're not able to screw this portion down. I guess just because of the way the walls are built. This center stud, right, we got studs here, we've got studs here, and we've got studs here. You can see the roofing nails that I put the plastic on with. But we got her screwed into the stud in the center, and we got her screwed, where are they? There and there, onto this back wall. And I mean, it's not going anywhere, it's just chickens, right? So that's pretty much that for now, and we'll see where this goes from here. So there it is, all done. My first set of nesting boxes. I'm sure it's not going to be my last. So it's up, it's built, straw's in. All these beautiful ladies down here can start leaving me eggs in here instead of eggs in the corner. And to quote one of my favorites, if they don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Have a good one.